Welcome back to episode 5 of Conversations with Rob and Lou.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm just now mentioning this. Maybe we should change the name.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just to Conversations. It seems like a good choice.
Ooh, I don't know. That's not specific enough.
Yeah, it's not good for like a search engine, but
Yeah.
I just think with Rob and Lou, it's unnecessary. Almost.
It's kind of a long title.
Yeah, we could change it to something else. Something less general than Conversations,
Sure.
but
That's probably a good idea. Because I think calling it Conversations, that's
such
like
a good name.
That's a cool name, but
it's such a good name.
You can only we can call it that during the podcast and stuff, but we can't it's not. We're not big enough to have just a
to
word
take
like
conversations.
that.
Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah. Even I don't even know if Joe Rogan could take conversations.
Yeah, he can't call he
I
doesn't
think
call
that
it
would
the
take
experience.
Yeah. He could call it the experience, but then that would be almost meaningless.
Yeah.
No. Anyways.
Conversations is too general.
But it's a really good name. Maybe if we get big enough, if we get 100 likes on this video,
that's not happening.
Then we'll change the name to Conversations. How about that? That's a good bet.
If you get 1 million views.
1 million views, 100 million subscribers, let's go. Yeah. We'll change the name.
Sounds good.
All right. So for today's card,
sure.
Yep. 6 of Hearts. Describe your perfect 3-course meal. What a meaningless card.
What does a 3-course meal mean?
I have no idea.
French people from the 1800s.
We're poor, so.
No, I don't think anybody.
No.
Unless you're
not anymore.
No. Unless you're the sort of anachronistic sort of rich people in Europe.
This is kind of dumb. Okay, is a 3-course meal, does that mean they bring out food at separate times and you have 3 separate meals? Or is it more like you have steak and potatoes and a salad? Is that the 3 courses of the meal?
No, I think, as far as I know, the 3 courses different times. But I think it's the first course is a salad, second course is a steak or something.
Okay, so it's just
and
a really
course,
fancy, you have the same amount of food, but they just don't bring you all of it at once.
Yeah, well, that's almost how they do it at restaurants. If you order an appetizer, the entree, and then a dessert, right? But I think maybe a 3-course meal, you order them all together.
Oh,
I think that's
okay.
How it works.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
So yeah, I think maybe they're just wording it differently than we're used to.
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
And it just seems like a dumb fancy thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my perfect 3-course meal. This is tough. It's not going to be a good answer, but
yeah.
I mean, this is going to be really basic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Start off with some kind of salad as an appetizer.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I like salads. I think they can be really good, really healthy. It would be a fancy salad. If it's
Sure.
the perfect 3-course meal, it would be a wedge salad with some corn and avocado.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that would be a good combination. There would be a fancy salad there to start. And eventually, I'm really getting in my head about this.
I'm really trying to think.
Yeah. They would bring out the steaks.
Steaks.
I think a steak, yeah.
Sure.
I'm thinking the
steaks.
perfect 3-course meal just for the everyday, not a special occasion.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm thinking a one-time, special occasion.
Ugh. That just that
That's
just
too
opens
hard.
it up.
Yeah,
it's who's to say?
All right, sure.
It'd be stuff I've never tried before.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't
That's true.
say, yeah.
Okay.
But for my everyday, I would choose probably start off with a salad, then have a steak, and then I don't know what a typical 3rd course is.
I assumed it's a dessert thing, or something.
I don't know. I think that seems like the kind of thing you have after the meal.
Well, yeah, I think it's supposed to be a. I mean, it is a third separate thing, but I don't know how long of a time between them.
Maybe there's a little after dinner appetizer, some calamari or something. That could be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's squid.
Yeah, it's fried squid, I think, or
Interesting.
fried. Yeah, fried
Yeah,
squid.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
But okay. Well, I think for the ease of answering the question, let's have it be a dessert type of thing.
Okay, well, chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Okay, sure.
Yeah, so salad, steak, chocolate cake. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I would do. So I'm not a big fan of salad or soup, really.
Oh, I love soup. I changed my
Really?
mind. I want soup instead of
Soup,
salad.
yeah.
Yeah, hot and sour soup.
Yeah. I don't know. Soup. I like ramen because it's it has noodles and you're
That's
eating
the
noodles.
main course, though. The
Yeah, but
ramen.
that's the main
Yeah,
course,
That's
sort
a
of.
real.
But the soup they serve me and my family go to this Chinese restaurant where they give you free soup with your meal, or not free soup. It's along with the meal they give you a soup, and it's not a noodle soup. It's just egg drop soup with little bits of egg, or it's hot and sour soup that's just a liquid.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And I just I don't get how you're supposed to eat that. It's just a drink. It's kind of gross.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
just salty water.
It tastes good. It's
It
thicker
does.
than normal water, though.
Yeah, it's
Usually
thicker.
it's a
It's-
kind of gelatinous.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
But to me, it just seems like there has to be like something solid for it to be a normal thing to eat.
Well, there's like mushrooms and stuff floating around in hot and sour, like
Yeah.
bamboo shoots.
Yeah.
Most of the bites that I have of soup have like some solid thing in it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't call them bites.
Okay, I guess I
Yeah.
usually get the egg drop soup.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause I
No,
don't
the
like-
egg drop wasn't my favorite.
But their hot and sour soup is not very good. Anyway, I digress.
Okay.
Not soup. I would say maybe like fried dumplings.
Ooh. Oh,
We're
yeah,
like-
like a nice.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of like the
Fancy
dough, like
appetizer.
the fried dough part of it. Because you don't want it to be like too rich as like an appetizer, right?
I guess not.
So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like vegetable dumplings.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and then main course. Man, I'm not sure. There's so many things. Like, I guess let's keep with the Chinese food and say like
Okay. Your perfect 3-course meal is just Chinese. All
yes.
right. that's
Maybe
good.
I just maybe I just want Chinese food right now.
You're tunnel visioned on it.
Yeah, because I really don't think that much about like what food I like. But let me just say,
Boneless spare ribs.
ooh, I don't know.
Those are so good. You don't
Really?
have those?
I don't know if I had that.
Oh my god.
I'm not a big food person.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, I'm being very unoriginal. Let's say like orange chicken. I got that one time and it was
The
really good.
Perfect 3-course meal is some dumplings and orange chicken.
Yeah,
and
honestly, now that I think about it, I'm very like, I probably sound like a very basic person. I get like Chinese food like somewhat often.
yeah.
I try to get interesting things, but it's just like, I'm not a big fan of food in general.
Well, sometimes you might get something interesting, and all the names are so strange. Like I don't remember exactly like what the
Yeah.
mushu chicken tastes like.
And
You know,
mushu
like I don't
pork
know,
usually,
or
but
mushu pork. Yeah, whatever.
I
it
got a
is.
mushu pork. I don't like it very much.
Yeah, I just don't. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. Also, I just can't think of that many things right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't. This is a good. Or okay, finish the thing to say. I'll just creme brulee is.
It's
good
a bad card.
dessert.
It's a bad card.
It's not a bad card. Well, it is. It's starting over. I don't know. I think it is interesting to think. Like, I really am not like a big fan of food. Almost.
Yeah.
Like deaf people definitely seem to like food.
Deaf people?
No, deaf people. Definitely people.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, I've said it in the wrong order. It sounded.
Do you think that deaf people like food more than
Yeah,
other people
probably,
just because
probably.
they don't have their
Because
sense
yeah,
of
there's
taste
fewer
is
like
enhanced?
sensory inputs. Yeah.
Wow. Imagine Helen Keller eating a cheeseburger. That must have been awesome.
Ah, really? That
Yeah,
is interesting.
that's cool.
But but what I was saying is like people definitely seem to enjoy food a lot, and like look forward to like certain types of food. But I'm just sort of almost indifferent to it sometimes. I'm just like,
Hmm.
well, I feel like you feel a similar way sometimes, where like it's just like a drag to have to like eat food all day, and it's just like
Yeah, it's a
so much
drag.
work.
It's a drag to have to make the food. I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
if food was being delivered to me,
sure.
like Uber Eats, and I
Mhm.
could just get that whenever I wanted. I don't think I would mind food that much. It wouldn't
Yeah,
be
like,
that big of a hassle.
If it was like if it was free and it was just like you're always getting it,
and it's
so-
good.
and it's good, yeah.
Because that could take like 10 minutes to chow
Yeah.
down on a hamburger or something. I could see that being very
Yeah.
enjoyable. Like that's a fun break. Like you get
Mhm.
back in the mindset of like, all right, I'm ready to do
Yeah.
some work. You're fueled up.
But I
I
almost
think
don't.
that'd be nice.
Yeah. I almost don't care as much about like if it's really good food. I just more care that it's like I don't know. Like I think my issue is just like it's just inconvenient to have to sit there and eat.
I care
Yeah.
about it being good because I can
Yeah.
quickly eat something if it's good, and if it's not,
Yeah.
then it kind of just takes me
Mm-hmm.
an uncomfortably long time to eat it
Interesting.
because I take a bite and I have to
Really.
just if it's something. I mean, it's
Or
not
if it's really bad.
if it well not not if it's really bad. Okay. Like if it's just normal food and it's like a plain bowl of pasta with like a meatball or something, and it's just like a frozen meatball. It's not that great.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to finish a big bowl of it because I know I need the amount of calories that are in there.
Right.
It can be a real drag finishing the bowl if it's
Mhm.
not great. Like I'll sit there and I'm full already,
Yeah.
and I just won't leave the table until I'm done with that bowl. But
Yeah. That makes
eating
makes
is not
sense.
enjoyable.
That makes sense. Like even like evolutionarily, it makes sense that like good food is easier to eat more
Yeah.
of it and more quickly. But like
Yeah.
I feel like for me it's still like it's not that the food is good or bad. It's just like hard. Like there's probably other factors in how much I can eat or how easy it is to eat, kind of. But for me, it's just like
Well,
even
I
if
mean-
food's good, it's not like I'm able to
Well,
eat that
say
much
something
more.
tastes delicious.
Mhm.
And you're eating it and you get kind of full, but it still tastes really good. So you would still want to eat more, right? Like as opposed to if something just
Mhm.
didn't taste that great and it was just a kind of plain, like, plain rice.
Yeah.
You're not going to stuff your face with that.
I guess that is kind of
It would be
true.
tough to finish.
But I think it's still
Yeah.
just I think my appetite is just low. Like I think I just sort of have like a limit of how much I eat usually.
So have you ever had an experience where something just tastes so good and you just keep eating it even though you're pretty full? Like you ever had like a fancy meal or something?
Not really.
No.
I usually I'm just like, all right, I'm full. I'll eat some of this later.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely stuff myself when the food is really good.
Yeah, and I think it'd be nice if I was like that because it'd be easier to eat more.
Well, it would be easier to eat more on rare occasions because oftentimes the food isn't like that. And if you have the
Oh,
same
but you're
thing,
saying you only do that if it's really good?
if it's really good,
Yeah.
Enough of this card. I hate this card. It was
Yeah.
a bad card. That's a dumb question.
Eating sucks. Actually, yeah, this could transition to the
The thing.
talking about fasting.
Oh.
Or I don't know.
Well, last night you were saying you wanted to talk about AI, but we can do the fasting.
We can talk about AI next.
Okay. Fasting first.
But yeah, fasting is an interesting thing because so we were watching the Joe Rogan Experience thing with David Sinclair.
Who'd have guessed that we're watching
Yeah,
that?
yeah. We shouldn't talk about Joe Rogan too
We're
much,
fasting right
but-
now. No, we
Yes.
can talk about him. That's good.
Yeah. We shouldn't talk about it every episode. You know what? The
Need at least one mention per episode.
yeah. Pretty sure we mentioned it last episode.
Yep.
But just talking about how like fasting is good for your like it's I think it lets you like live longer almost. Like it when you eat, it kind of like puts you in a state of complacency and you're just kind of like
Yeah, and
your body doesn't worry as much about trying to get its next meal.
Yep, I believe what he was saying, what David Sinclair was saying was when you fast, your body thinks it's in survival mode and
Right.
it worries about repairing the cells that you have
Mhm.
instead of just generating new ones, and you're not as relaxed. And
Yeah.
when you're eating a lot, he said that you are more likely to just relax and procreate, and that's the end of your life. Like you're done
Right.
after that. So,
It's like you don't need
Yeah.
to get that next meal.
but if it's a struggle for survival,
Yeah.
then you're keeping yourself alive at all costs.
Right.
Yeah. So
so yeah, I
I
think
believe in it, and we're
Yeah.
fasting right now. We should mention. I mean, we
Yeah,
haven't eaten
yeah.
breakfast. Probably not going to eat lunch.
I'm gonna eat lunch. I'm gonna be
eat-
very
I'm-
hungry.
I will too.
And I think the past like week or so, I've been basically just skipping breakfast because I already don't like breakfast that much. And I think for me, that's like an easy start to it at least.
See, what I've been
Yeah.
doing is I've been eating breakfast
Mhm.
and skipping lunch, eating dinner. And the reason I
Right.
like that is because it really keeps my day whole. Like I start the day
Mhm.
right after I get up, I eat breakfast, and then my day really begins and I can get work done.
Yeah.
If I have lunch in the middle of that, then it really breaks up my work
Yeah.
time. And that's annoying because then because lunch is typically more tedious to make than breakfast. Like my
Mhm.
breakfast is just a smoothie, so it takes like
Right.
30 minutes total. I've made it, drank it, cleaned it.
Mhm.
Lunch, it's like you got to cook something that takes 30 minutes alone.
Mhm.
Then you got to eat
Cooking
it. That
sucks.
takes 10 minutes. And then you got to clean it. It's like, ugh, it's
Yeah.
this whole thing. So,
Yeah, and I feel the same way. We're like, ugh. But the thing is, it makes like it's easier for me, like, just in terms of the meals alone, it's easier for me to skip breakfast and then have like, even like 2 meals during the day and then dinner
yeah.
to get like the right amount of calories. But yeah, it's just so inconvenient.
See, I don't know. This morning was the first morning that I skipped breakfast.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just felt less energetic and like I had
Yeah.
less energy in general.
I think over the week I started out feeling like I just kind of felt tired and
Yeah.
annoyed because I wasn't eating. But I think over time, like I've definitely even in this time I've improved.
I think this tea definitely helped, though.
Yeah, I think
Like,
tea's
this
good.
perked me right up.
Yeah,
So,
like tea
yeah.
with no calories too, because it's like, I think the fasting thing, like if you eat calories, it kind of breaks it up, which is almost,
I don't know.
as far as I know at least.
I feel like as long as you're hungry, right? Like if you have
Yeah.
a berry
Mhm.
or like a couple blueberries, like would that
Yeah.
really break it up?
I'm not sure. Well, also, what I'm talking about, the source of the information is from someone else. I'm pretty sure on Joe Rogan, that was talking about the sort of like fasting to lose weight type of thing.
Mm.
Where I think in that case it's definitely like you get out of like the
Yeah, your metabolism.
your metabolism restarts and stuff.
Well, wait, wouldn't you, if you were trying to lose weight, wouldn't you want to intermittently have like a calorie or two?
Mhm.
Because then your body, like if it actually thinks there's no food around, it
Oh.
perhaps slows down your metabolism.
I don't think it's well. I think it's bad to be. I think it's worse to be like in a calorie deficit, but be eating constantly, kind of, because your body goes into like a different sort of state of like. I can't remember exactly what the deal is, but I think it's like. If you eat the same number of calories in like a few meals and fasting the rest of the time, it's
Yeah.
better, because your body goes into like the fasting state,
Faster. Oh.
or like the state of like burning your fat or whatever, in the way that it does when you're fasting. But like, I think if you're still eating constantly and just not as much, it's like your body's just kind of like wasting away slowly.
See, maybe that's an
But-
intermittent fasting thing, because I've
Yeah.
always heard for weight loss, don't fast, don't stop eating, because then your
Oh, yeah.
metabolism slows down and you end up keeping the fat on because your body thinks, oh, I'm going to need
Yeah, no,
this.
definitely if you stop eating at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think intermittent fasting is good because your body doesn't get to like the thinking it's starving. It just thinks there's
Okay.
like
So-
not as much food. Kind
So
of.
don't do it for more than a day, but
Probably.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that much about like the day long fast thing.
I think that a lot of the
But-
information is kind of arbitrary. Like, who's to say
really
what's
is.
real and
The
what's
information
fake? Like,
sucks. Like
so many people say
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to piece together like that one person that was talking about like trying to like lengthen the time without any calories
yeah.
and then getting into a time window, and then also the David Sinclair thing of like the reasons why it's good and stuff like that.
See, because
It's hard though.
because after listening to David Sinclair, I'm like, all right, this guy knows a lot, and I'm going to take some of what he said about like just eating less in general,
Yeah.
but maybe apply it in my own way. And instead of not doing breakfast, I'll do breakfast and skip lunch instead.
Yeah.
And then have dinner. And then it's like 2 12-hour blocks of me not having food. Right? Because I
Right.
eat around 7 in the morning and 7 at night. So
Yeah. And I guess I would think that it's almost better to like not have that breakfast and then have that breakfast meal like 2
For
hours
lunch or something?
like 3 hours before you have
just
dinner.
have a longer block of not eating.
Yeah, and then
No.
because that's intuitively from what I've seen, that would make more sense. But I'm not really sure. Like,
No, I believe,
What's
honestly,
better?
if I'm thinking about it, that does make more sense. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably better for the, whatever cells you're generating while you're,
whoever it
yeah,
works.
while you're fasting.
Because you have more time because it's like a cool down afterwards you eat.
But it makes
like-
much less sense from just
Yeah.
a time perspective of,
Yeah.
I hate breaking up my day with lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think something they mentioned in the podcast is that like there's all these health things you can do, but at the end of the day, it matters more that you're putting it into your life in like a meaning, or like a productive way. So like if it works better for you to do that, you might as well just do that. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it might not be ideal, but it's better. It's better to live your life more productively, and if that sort of meal structure works better for you.
And everyone's different. So I can imagine
sure.
some people getting more benefit from eating meals somewhat regularly. Like, some people might just not be made to fast. Like, they just didn't
Yeah, I don't
evolve
know.
that way. They have some genes that don't like it. So,
But yeah, because he was talking about
yeah.
he's developing like a pill that you can take or whatever that
Yes.
that simulates fasting.
Yeah.
Even if you can't
What
do
he
it.
was saying about the pill sounded really cool because it
Yeah.
made mice,
Yeah,
like, it made old mice able to sprint
that
longer
was-
than young mice.
that was his like exercise in a pill thing. I think it's different from the
Oh,
fasting.
it's different.
I think the fasting thing isn't as well
Oh,
developed.
okay.
There's some
Well, I want the
chemical-
exercise in the pill.
But the
'cause
extra
that
pill
sounds
so good, yeah.
awesome. I
Just
mean,
think,
yeah,
like-
90-year-old marathon runners that he was talking
Right.
about. I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine. I don't know if it would make a big difference for a 20-year-old, but
I think they were saying like those things don't matter as much because you're like, I think it's your NDA.
because the thing is, he
Your
was
NDA levels
saying
aren't as low when you're young.
he was saying that
Mhm.
the old mice could run farther than the young mice.
Yeah.
And so imagine if a young mouse took that.
Mhm.
I mean, that would be like, how far would they be running,
Right.
right? Because you would just be boosting the levels of NDA.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it's like a threshold. Like,
Like, past a certain point, it's not good. But are we?
Yeah.
But we must not be at that threshold.
yeah, I'm sure you could do.
I
a
doubt
test.
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're not marathon runners,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Also, I don't know. Like, there's probably a lot of specifics. Like, I don't know how young the young mice were. Maybe they were
Yeah.
like the equivalent of like 30 or 40.
That's very possible. Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting.
No, I'd be very, like, as soon as that's the kind of thing. That's why I hate the FDA. It's like, get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I want to take that. I don't care if you've done your tests. I want that now.
Yeah, I want some NDA.
We could be saving lives.
And some
Potentially,
NNN,
we could
yeah.
be saving lives. I mean, I think David Sinclair said, I don't know if he's taking that one, but I think he's taking the fasting one. He's taking something.
He's saying the NMN,
Yeah.
which is the NDA is nicotine di. Wait, no. There's one that's he's taking the NMN, which is nicotine mononucleotide.
Yeah.
And
Is that related to?
I think maybe I'm saying NDA wrong because it's nicotinamide dinucleotide.
Oh, okay. Is it related to nicotine
But-
at all? I mean, it must be.
I actually looked it up. I think it's a pretty different chemical, but I think maybe the base structure comes from the same thing or something.
Mm.
Because it sounds like nicotine, but I think it's pretty different.
I am willing to believe
Mhm.
that nicotine on its own
Yeah.
is potentially good for you when not mixed with all the tar and carcinogens and cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm willing to believe that because it improves memory.
Mhm.
That's been studied.
Right. I think it's the issue is that it's so addictive, but I think it definitely could.
Yeah.
It could be good.
Well, I
in
mean,
some
the thing
things.
is, why is some stuff addictive?
Yeah.
I mean, some things like alcohol, maybe there's not a clear benefit to your health if you take
Mm-hmm.
it, but other things, are potentially addictive just because they make you feel so good. And like,
Yeah.
if they're making you feel really good, it must be good in some way. Maybe not in
Right.
high quantities,
Yeah,
but
I
in a
think-
low dose potentially.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And I think with like
yeah.
stimulants like Adderall and nicotine and stuff, I think the reason it makes you feel good and the reason it's addictive are kind of the same, in that like it just gives you a lot of rewards for doing like kind of like normal things.
Yeah.
Like it just increases the like how much of a reward your brain gets, and that sort of thing is naturally addictive because your brain knows to like, if you're getting a reward for something, you should do it more.
Yeah. And so if you
Yeah.
did a study somehow, I mean, this would be completely impossible. You'd have to
Sure.
do a simulation, really,
Mhm.
of two people
With an AI.
with an AI. That's probably what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If you had maybe two groups of people,
Mhm.
and one group, say of 50 people, and both of them are just living in like small societies, maybe they don't have a bunch of technology or whatever.
Mhm.
One group takes some Adderall every day.
Yeah.
Like a decent enough dose. They take it like 1 or 2 or 3 times a day so
Mhm.
that they're on it the whole day. They go to bed, they get up, they do it again
Yeah.
their whole life. And another group doesn't do that.
Mhm.
Which group do you think is more successful? Like, who builds more? Who
Yeah.
enjoys their life more? Who lives longer even? I
Yeah.
mean, maybe they find some medicines because they were working hard on Adderall. Like,
Yeah.
who
I
lives
think-
longer? I don't know.
I would assume, like on its own, it might shorten your lifespan if you're like, like
You think?
burning the candle at both ends, as people say. But
Well, I
think
mean,
definitely,
say you're getting an appropriate amount of sleep. You're
Yeah.
eating additional calories because your
Mhm.
body's going to need it. They
yeah,
they eat until they're comfortable. Like they have the they
Yeah.
have the food to do it because they're farming all day.
yeah. I was
You
gonna say,
know?
like, I think the fact that it increases your productivity
Yeah,
societally, it could increase lifespan.
it could.
We could get that the anti-aging stuff a lot faster if everyone's on Adderall.
Yeah.
It's all working really hard. But anyway,
Because-
I don't want to get too far into Adderall discussion.
Okay, all right.
Because we talked
Save
about
it.
that
We'll
for
save
like
it.
2 hours last
Yeah,
night.
we did.
we should have recorded that for the podcast.
We should
but-
have. We should have. We need a camera that just follows us around.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah.
With Neuralink, we'll sure we'll have those.
Oh, yeah.
We can just record our own mental,
Our vision and
like our
Yeah.
mental state, and just like play that back on a
that
screen.
would be cool.
But all right.
All right.
I've been watching videos by AI, and I want to talk about it.
Okay, AI. Good for the last 8 minutes of
God
this.
damn it. We need to do longer episodes, too.
We do.
Jesus
We
Christ.
do.
Because like we could have talked about Adderall and stuff, and then talked about AI.
Okay,
but it's
wait. What if we talk about Adderall for the next 8 minutes, then reset and do episode 2 about AI,
Okay.
or episode 6, or whatever it is.
6, yeah.
All right,
Or the next time. I don't know if
or
I'll
the next time. All right.
have enough energy.
Okay.
But
The tea didn't do it. You need Adderall.
the tea. Yeah, I need better. Yes.
Okay, but
But,
my question was,
Sure.
who would live longer? Who would have better lives? The people on Adderall or the people not on Adderall?
Mhm.
I personally, I'll let you think about it while I talk. I personally think the people on Adderall would be a lot more productive, get a lot more done, even over the long term.
So I definitely can't think while someone else is talking.
Okay.
But no, keep talking. I'm not sure.
I just think that the improvement in their material lives would justify, taking the stimulant. And I don't even know if it's proven that it's bad for you.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if anyone's done research into does Adderall shorten lifespan just because your heart's beating a little bit faster. I can see how that would wear it out.
There's that like
Yeah.
the kind of like I don't know if it's like pseudoscience. It's like people used to think that each like I think it was all species have like a set number of heartbeats or something. No, this is actually a thing. 'Cause-
Oh my god.
No, because if you study like elephants versus mice,
Yeah.
like the smaller animals' hearts beat faster, and there's like an actual
Oh.
trend in the number of heartbeats versus
Yeah.
the lifespan.
Well,
But
does that
it's bullshit,
explain
but
like
it's-
yeah, okay. I was going to say
it's not a
because
real
some people are living to be like 90 years old.
Yeah, no, it's like
Huge
sort of like the
variance,
average.
yeah.
On
Okay.
average, elephants and mice have like a similar number of heartbeats. But anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
I mean, if that were true, then you would expect runners to die really young.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
exercising would make you live less.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how potentially exercising improves your overall health so you can live a little bit longer.
Mhm.
But if we developed technologies that would let us do that anyways, potentially exercising your heart to
Oh,
that
sure.
extent would make your heart wear out. And you need that to
It might
be
even make you
replaced.
stronger though. It's
Maybe.
That's beside the point.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah.
not a real scientific thing.
Yeah.
It was just an observation.
Yeah.
That they had. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
Okay, so
Yes.
what was I saying about the? I think
Sorry.
I
It
think
makes your
that,
heart beat faster.
I think the Adderall Society, despite whatever potentially negative side effects they would get from the Adderall,
Mhm.
I think they would live longer, happier, and they'd have a cooler place. They'd have cooler huts.
Yeah.
They would have cleaner huts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I think.
You don't want it to be true.
Yeah. No. I think I definitely am. I think some of the propaganda against Adderall and meth and stuff is kind of
I think so.
seeped into my mind a little bit,
I
but
think so.
I think it's not without reason. Because I think in the Adderall Society, there would definitely be a subset of people that figured out how to crush the Adderall and snort it. Because that is what people do.
Yeah.
And it would just be drug addicts. But it might still be worth it because like a good percent of the sorry, mouth is dry. Good percentage of the population would still be taking it responsibility and getting a lot of work done and stuff. So
well, the thing is, even if you snort the Adderall, like I get that that's not good for your nose, but I mean, you're still like at a certain point, like you only have a certain dose that's allocated for each day.
Oh, sure.
So, I mean, assuming that, like, you know, how these pills were being distributed was every day, like it would come out of a chute or something.
I was thinking
and
it's
you
like,
couldn't take unlimited amounts.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, assuming people are taking like
Yeah.
the same amount of pills each day, even if you were snorting it, that would only increase the speed at which it was absorbed and potentially how much you could absorb, but still to a certain level.
I was thinking more like they could just go out on the street and buy it or whatever.
and get more. Yeah.
Because like in that case, people would use like meth, you know, where you just like snort a bunch all at once and like.
Well, I'm trying more so to bring it to a point where like we can relate it to someone's individual life and say like, well, if I were just going to take Adderall each day, would my life overall be better than not?
And I think that does tie into something that I agree with, that like if you are going to take it, or like the most beneficial way to take it is definitely to have a set schedule where it's like it's not your choice whether or not you take it. It's more like your schedule, like a schedule that you set up imposes it on you to like only take it twice a day or only take it these days or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just, it just intuitively seems like unless you really need like,
which society lives longer?
Oh yeah. That's the society thing. I think who lives longer? Like ignoring the technological advancement and stuff.
But that's one of the coolest parts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, like, to make it simpler, I think ignoring technological advancement, I think there'd be some people in Adderall society that would be lazy otherwise and wouldn't take care of their health.
Yes.
But because of Adderall, they would. So those people would live longer. But I think the normal people that would exercise regardless would be very productive, but they might not live longer. They might live less because
just because of the negative health effects of it.
I think because it puts your body in like a kind of like stressed out state, almost like in like a fight or flight sort of thing.
Which, according to David Sinclair,
is good.
Maybe they're living a long time.
It's good in moderation, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're taking like super high doses, just a moderate dose.
But I think once it gets to a point, like
your body wouldn't acclimate and your tolerance wouldn't make it not as bad.
I don't know. I don't know if about like
I don't know
the dosages and like the amount that you take. Because I assume if you're taking too much, it puts your body in like a stress sort of thing where it's like too much stress and it starts to be bad.
Well, isn't it a similar thing with coffee? How that's a stimulant and your heart beats, but people drink it every day.
Yeah.
And I bet they've done studies on drinking coffee versus not, who lives longer. I bet they have.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's also in limit. Like most people just drink like 1 or 2 cups of coffee, but like I remember my high school math teacher talked about how she would have like 4 shots of espresso in the morning.
Jeez.
That's definitely unhealthy.
That's too much.
And I think maybe with Adderall, it might be that like it's healthy and would let you live longer in moderation. But like the sort of thing that Quentin talks about, where he's taking so much that it makes him really euphoric and stuff.
Every day, though.
Yeah.
Like that was very inspiring to hear.
Yeah.
By the way, Quentin, it's
Yes.
we'll shout out to him. What is it? Quentin Experiment?
Yeah, the Quentin Experiment on YouTube.
On YouTube.
He's
Check
like
him out.
Too.
He has a bunch of drug stuff. I guess that's the only way to say it.
We were talking about his one of his early videos about Adderall.
Yeah.
But most of his current stuff is about like psychedelics and like philosophy and stuff.
Yeah. But in his Adderall video, he talked about how he took Adderall every day at a high dose for 5 years.
Yeah.
And how every day he would get a really euphoric feeling from it.
And
I'm very curious.
Basically, Robert's saying that like, not necessarily that you want to do the same thing, but that is a sign that you should.
It seems like he.
But I'm trying to argue against it.
Yeah, Louis arguing against it. And I'm just thinking like, man, he really improved his life, it seems. And he's talking about the habits that he built because of it. Mm-hmm. And could it be possible that doing it for a year has long-lasting benefits?
Right.
I'm very curious about that.
To me, intuitively, without his, testimonial,
it
just intuitively seems like it would be bad. Like doing it for a year, the next year you'd just be less productive.
See,
but
I mean,
his sort of thing,
like
his thing goes counter to my, preconceived notion sort of thing.
Yeah. What about a situation where you're taking a supplement or a vitamin? I can mute that. I can do that.
And I'm trying to move the mic away from my mouth when I'm.
These barely pick up
Actually,
anything.
can you hold my? Can I go get some water?
Yeah.
For a second?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. I was thinking about getting water, but
It's very unprofessional, but my throat is very dry.
No, this is good. No, this is exactly how they do it on Joe Rogan. This is the most professional.
That is a kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
People get up to go to the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So
Usually not a 30-minute segment, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, continue.
We're almost there, but what was I saying about it? Was
Sorry,
I've been doing it for a year.
In building a habit over the year.
Okay. Still not entirely sure where I was going with it. I know building the habit for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I completely lost.
We need Adderall.
Yeah, I need the Adderall.
We always make the joke of when we're watching that video, we pause it like every 2 minutes to talk about
but we need the Adderall
debate.
to
We need
focus.
Adderall to finish the video. Yeah, yeah.
No.
But
I think he was talking about the habits, and I'm sure that when I rewatch this video, I'll know exactly where I was going with
right.
it. But I just
that
it escapes.
But
my
yeah,
mind.
but what I was saying was that I think that over time you start to rely on the Adderall, and after the year you become less productive.
Okay. You reminded me. So say you were taking a vitamin or a supplement
Right.
that you have a noticeable effect from, like you noticeably feel better because it's a healthy thing, and you take that for a year, and then you stop. Was it a bad thing to have taken it for a year, or because maybe while you were on it, you built some good habits? And what's really the difference between something like Adderall that people choose to call a medicine, just arbitrarily almost, and a vitamin?
It is pretty arbitrary. Yeah. But I think maybe the difference is like, say vitamin D or something. Does your body stop producing as much vitamin D on its own when you take the supplements? Like, I don't know if it does, but
I bet if it stops producing dopamine when you take a dopamine supplement, then it would stop producing vitamin D when you take a
That's what you
vitamin D
think.
supplement. I
Yeah.
bet it would.
I think maybe it's complicated. Like,
But I bet that would be a temporary drop off.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it gets into the sort of like complex biochemistry thing where like
Yeah.
the part of your biological process that produces dopamine is a lot in your brain and stuff. And then vitamin D is like
Yeah.
other parts of your body. It might still be your brain. I don't know. It's different parts of your body, and it has different like pathways and stuff. That
I guess the question is, even if it does produce a little bit less dopamine, would the habits stick anyways?
Right.
I think they might.
Yeah.
Potentially, depending on the person, depending on how long they
Right.
were doing it and how
Yeah. I think maybe if you're really
habitual
smart
they
about
were.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's like, I mean, Quinton is one example. This could be a thing. Like, this could be another way to support my argument, is that it might be almost, maybe not random, but it's like a lot of people probably do Adderall a long time and then don't get this habit thing, like the habit forming thing.
Yes.
And maybe it's not even that it's like completely chance. It's just like you have to maybe be careful about it
And have
like
a goal of forming a habit.
Yeah,
See,
like-
I don't
like-
know if he did. I think he was abusing it and he was addicted to it.
right. Yeah, he'd say that. Yeah.
But he was talking about what are the benefits of Adderall.
Mhm.
And one of them was learning how to prioritize and
Right.
execute tasks.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I feel like there is probably, maybe not with short-term use. If you just use it a couple of times, then maybe you're like longing for more and you're thinking, oh, I can put this off.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if you use it regularly and you really get in the habit of just knocking stuff out, maybe that would stick.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that could make sense. Definitely right after you stop, you would just feel like it would feel like you just like you want to be in the habit still, but you can't because you don't have
Yeah, you
a
might feel.
big component of it.
I bet that for a
But yeah.
couple of weeks, when you're like, if you were addicted to it,
Yeah.
when you're withdrawing, you might feel really shitty and stay in bed.
Yeah.
But after that, when you're like, all right, time to get back to my life, I feel normal. What
Could
would
be.
you do? You do what you did every day for the past 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
it's less of like the like the addiction sort of withdrawal and more like almost like a like keeping the same habit but not having that energy boost anymore. I feel like would give you a different type of like mental withdrawal almost like or like your lifestyle just there's no way you can keep up the same thing if like before the only reason you had that was because of the Adderall. But I think maybe over time you can build up to get back to the habit. But definitely at first it's not going to be that easy. Right?
See, well, I'll give you a specific example. Say you are lazy and you don't work out and you've tried working out and like go a day and you get sore and you're like, oh, this sucks. And you start taking Adderall and then you have plenty of energy and you go and work out every day.
Yeah.
And you do that for 3 years and then you stop taking the Adderall. Are you now in the habit of working out every day?
That's a good argument. Yeah.
I think that's a good point. And like,
Yeah.
you could say, oh, well, the reason you can work out is you have more muscle and you're not as sore. Well, wouldn't the same be true of your brain getting used to doing those dull tasks?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost different with a dull task sort of thing. I think I can see that argument for like, like writing or like other like things that are like kind of like enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
long term, like sort of like delayed gratitude sort of things.
Yeah.
Where it's like I could see that kind of building up and like over time. The only reason like it's once you start it, it's easier to continue it because you have the habit. But I feel like with dull tasks where it's like kind of just like an endless stream of like lame things you want to do, like filling out taxes and going to the store and stuff like that. I think maybe you do get into a habit of doing it more.
Yeah.
But it's different than going to the gym, definitely. Because the gym is like, once you've been going for a long time, it does feel good. Like
It does.
you feel good after going to the gym.
Yeah.
The dull tasks, you're never gonna like enjoy them that much.
I mean, well, but maybe like when you're taking the Adderall, right, you're getting more of a dopamine release from doing those things.
Mhm.
And maybe that sticks around a little bit. Like you've
You
done
start to enjoy
something.
them?
Yeah. Like, I mean, because think
Yeah.
about it like this. People don't initially like alcohol. They don't like the taste. They don't like the smell. And I'm not saying people end up loving the smell of alcohol, but the first couple of times you don't enjoy drinking it.
Yeah.
However, kind of like Pavlov's dogs, once you drink alcohol a bunch and it makes you feel good by releasing dopamine or whatever it does,
Yeah.
you end up liking drinking it. Like
Sure.
I enjoy taking a sip of my beer.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, the beers taste okay.
Yeah.
But the same could be true of doing the dull tasks. You do them enough and get a big dopamine release, and then you start to enjoy those tasks. Your body
Yeah.
starts to give you more dopamine for doing them just because, oh, I've liked this so much. I like doing this.
Could
Kind
be,
of like
yeah.
Pavlov's dogs. I mean, there's no reason the bell needs to make them salivate.
Sure. I think it's yeah, that makes sense.
Like they're salivating
Yeah.
because I forget exactly what the experiment was. Maybe they gave them food when the bell rang.
No, it's actually
Yeah.
the actual experiment is it's pretty messed up. They would cut a hole in the dog's cheek
No.
and blast like a meat powder into their mouth.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty like they were pretty barbaric back then.
That's crazy.
But that's like a very controlled way to like it's not that they're not eating it. It's
yeah.
like putting like a salty mixture into their mouth.
That's
That makes sense.
insane.
Yeah.
In my psychology
Yeah,
class, they
they
were
don't
just like,
teach it-
and they
they don't
fed the
teach it like that.
dogs. That's
Yeah.
insane.
No, 'cause
they
I
blast
took
a
some-
meat powder through a hole in their cheek.
It's so messed up.
Jesus.
I took some like animal behavior class. And, like that's or I think it was like a college psychology class. Or
That's
something.
how Pavlov did it.
Yeah.
That bastard.
It's way more messed up when you think about that. But
That's crazy.
but no, that is. I think that's like a very basic form of the
Well, I think I know what this
conditioning.
video's thumbnail is going to be.
I shouldn't have said that though.
That's crazy. All right. Well.
But no, there definitely is a thing with like that alcohol, like the acquired taste thing,
Yeah.
where your body knows to like learn what foods are good and bad, and if it's like you get a reward for eating it, it becomes something that you like.
That is a huge. I didn't even listen to what you just said. That's a huge realization.
I can't believe I've never said that. Yeah.
I never heard of
I guess
that.
it doesn't
That's
come up.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
I'm
weird.
sure so many people would be shocked.
Yeah, no, I remember like not even believing it at first, but then I saw a picture where it was like literally showing like the schematic of like
Oh my
the dog,
God.
like I don't know if it's like in a cage basically, and it's like a tube going into his mouth. It's so weird.
The horrible secret behind Pavlov's dogs. I can think of the title already. That's
I don't know how much of a secret it is. It's like the misinformation in
Yeah.
like the schools. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is pretty crazy.
we've actually gone way over.
Yeah, I had a feeling we
Gone
were going
way
over.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
I
has to
knew
be
we
the
were going
podcast,
over.
though.
Yeah, this is in the, oh, it's definitely going to be in the
Yes.
podcast. Yeah, 100%. We'll just have a black
Yeah.
screen. Maybe we'll put up a picture,
Yeah, we
some
could do that.
non-copyrighted image of Pavlov's dogs for the last, and
Some
no one
YouTube
will
videos do that.
understand when it initially turns on.
For the whole thing, you just have to.
Yeah.
They'd be
No,
like,
we'll
"What
keep the first
fuck is-"
30 minutes, but then like the last
Yeah.
like 6 before this
The
point,
whole 6 minutes. Yeah.
people will not know what the heck is going on. Why there's this weird picture of a dog
Right.
that we chose.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
That's
going to
good.
be. It'll take a
That's
little
a
bit
good
of
shit.
editing, but it's going to be worth it for Marky, the only listener of this podcast. He's going
Yeah.
to be very confused.
That'd be really good. Jesus
That's good.
Christ. But yeah,
All right.
we should probably end it now though, because
Now is a good time to end it. Thank you guys for listening. If you have all the
Thank
way,
you.
thank you, Marky. I know you did at least,
yes, thank you, Marky and Rishi.
and I don't think Rushi's listening anymore.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's sad.
we lost him.
We weren't good enough.
All right. Well, that was episode 5.
Yeah.
We'll see you in episode
Hope
6.
you enjoyed.
Yep.
Yes. See you next time.
Bye.